First things first, if you're familiar with this introduction, feel free to skip ahead until the trigger warning for our racist, hate-filled image of the day appears on screen. Otherwise, let me tell you. In each of these videos, I give away a t-shirt from my website, UnionOfTruth.org. That t-shirt goes to whichever comment scores the highest on my double-secret proprietary rating scale. And they get to pick whichever design they want from the website. Mind you, I give away a t-shirt if the video gets at least 5,000 views and 50 unique comments by the time I start making my next video. I intend to make these videos 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Official rules are posted just below the like and subscribe buttons. Now, unless you are already fully aware of the following 9 facts, or you have a completely open mind and seek to expand your worldview, these videos might not be for you. Fact number 1. All of our society's root-level structural institutions are controlled by psychopathic parasites who intend to utterly subjugate us. And that's putting it mildly. Fact number 2. No one is coming to save us from them. If we don't take matters into our own hands, we will be utterly subjugated. Fact number 3. We are quickly running out of time to prevent such an outcome. Fact number 4. In order to prevent our subjugation, we need a viable plan of action. Fact number 5. There is no quick fix. A viable plan will need to be very detailed and will require that people must go outside of their comfort zone in order to comprehend it. Fact number 6. As an aspect of its viability, the plan must not require that everyone fully comprehends it in order to follow it. Fact number 7. Since the plan must not require that everyone fully comprehends it in order to follow it, leaders will be needed to properly inform and correctly guide fellow citizens who won't put forth the effort to fully comprehend the plan. Fact number 8. Leaders will need to fully comprehend the plan. Fact number 9. Exemplary leaders are committed to empowering those whom they lead. Exemplary leaders lead by example. And for those of you who are still with me, here's a 10th fact. This book contains a viable plan. The purpose of these videos is to disseminate the information provided in this book and to start an ongoing dialogue about all things related to the plan. You can download a free copy of this book in PDF format from UnionOfTruth.org without signing up for anything or filling anything out. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping you'll take me up on my simple 10-page challenge. It works like this. Read the first 10 pages of the book and fully investigate all of the links that are offered in order to discover the following. 1. Am I functioning from a valid conceptual foundation? 2. Have I done enough legitimate research to qualify as someone whose opinion is worthy of consideration? 3. Does the book actually provide a viable and fully detailed plan to thwart the science of fiction? Quite simple, and certainly not too much to ask of any red-blooded American patriot. One more thing. Those of you who are wondering, who is this guy? Should be sure to check out my video entitled, Who is this guy? Please, let us know exactly what you found most hateful and oppressive about that insidious image. Your feedback is vital to our ongoing mission of greater understanding. All right, in this video, we're going to go over the section on education, pages 17 through 19. Let's do this. Page 17, Section 2, Education. Fact: the continuing purposeful deconstruction of those mechanisms that were put in place to keep your ship of state in proper working order is made possible by our continuing ability to cognitively bankrupt the general population. Our ability to insidiously nurture and encourage an overwhelming lack of interest in putting forth the energy required to learn anything of real value is the guarantee of your nation's ruin. Indeed, if history teaches any lesson worth the effort of its application, it's that there's absolutely no way for any group of people to remain free unless they are properly educated. Yes, historically speaking, the general public of the world has been poorly educated, if educated at all. That is why, historically speaking, the general public of the world have been anything but free people. The majority of Americans believe that their constitutional rights are something the government grants to them and guarantees them, regardless of their action or inaction. Yet, those supposedly overhyped things are actually constitutionally protected natural rights. So why do so many people hold such an erroneous belief? The simplest correct answer is that, for decades, your leaders have been working on all fronts to craftily delegitimize the concept of unalienable natural rights. Even though it is inarguably the conceptual foundation of both the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. Why else would the vast majority of American citizens who received high school and college diplomas be incapable of providing a well-articulated, in-depth explanation of the rationale which underlies the deference that was paid by your nation's founders to the concepts of unalienable natural rights, dominion, agency, and possession? Can you even approach such a task? Read this right now. Now, I'll presume that you've read and understood the article that the link takes you to. Put forth your finest effort to understand this fact. Whether or not you believe in the God of the Bible, in this context, it remains the bedrock of law upon which your exercisable rights exist. The legal bastardization of that bedrock, the absence of such lessons in classrooms, and the elimination of its overt presence in courtrooms are crucial cracks in the hull of your ship of state. Tell me, friend, without there having been concerted acts of subversion committed by large numbers of Democrats and Republicans, how exactly is it that the conceptual foundation of the supreme law of the land came to be legally categorized as terrorist ideology? Ask yourself, was it members of the United States Marijuana Party that instructed law enforcement agencies and the Pentagon to train their employees to view sovereign-minded citizens as violent extremists? Fear not, freedom lovers. Such instruction is documented in this book. Where were all of the honest and in-depth, highly publicized and widely broadcast primetime debates regarding the illegitimacy of that now dangerous, demonized conceptual foundation? Or those regarding destructive acts of biological-based gender differentiation. Read this to gain insight into the real agenda. The price of believing that it is someone else's job to know about anything that really matters is slavery. And, surprise, only those who have failed to personally invest the time and effort required to earn a proper education get stuck with that bill. Page 18. Yes, only bamboozled people believe they can actually afford to spend all of their time and money on the limitless diversions / misbranded merchandise we present to them. Anyone with even the slightest inclination to think would be aware of this fact. We have been systematically destroying the market value of your nation's money and the structural integrity of your families, communities, school systems, and manufacturing industries for decades. And they would be outraged. Like you, they would be busy properly directing the same considerable effort and energy toward fixing the problem that most citizens reserve for very rare occasions, such as when their cable or phone company mistakenly disconnects them from the chief sources of mental stimulation they desire and are capable of processing. Unlike most Americans, they would not be wasting an amount of time equivalent to a full-time job seeking entertainment by way of fluff-filled magazines and novels, watching movies and reality television, playing video games, and attending faithfully to both their favorite real and fantasy sports, while spending the rest of their free time playing around on the internet and or shopping with a high-interest credit card for unneeded trinkets and gadgets that certain of our operatives told them they needed. Nor would they constantly be ingesting all of the other poisons that are successfully being passed off as medicine, food, beverage, and news. Are you familiar with the word ethos? Try to get those around you to take a look at the facts regarding the downward spiral of your country's general levels of education and prosperity. Can they be made to realize that, in the midst of such a downward spiral, only a deranged creature could be compelled to regularly supplement their already hours-long fantasy-inspired interest in the plainly obvious diversions from reality known as collegiate and professional sports with their own fantasy leagues that are simply based upon the statistical details of such diversions? Can you luxuriate in such voluble sentences? Can they be made to realize that such actions amount to a dereliction of duty? Can they be made to realize that such actions are equivalent to those of a fat, sweaty, severely unhealthy instant gratification junkie who happens to be on high cholesterol, high blood pressure, gout, diabetes, and erectile dysfunction medications, regularly eating pounds and pounds of greasy French fries that have each been wrapped in bacon before being fried again in hydrogenated oil and then covered with a few pounds of liquid cheese and washing it all down with pancake syrup? Such actions are clearly insane, right? Now let me remind you that later on in this very book, there are detailed, easy-to-follow instructions on how to personally, lawfully, peacefully earn $250,000 completely tax-free, just for carrying out one's Declaration of Independence mandated duty to repair the damage that has been inflicted upon your ship of state and prevent it from happening again. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. FYI, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution Bill of Rights are in the back of this book. Do you believe that you'll be able to get your fellow citizens to follow such instructions, or at least fully read and understand them in order to verify their validity? Of course you believe that such an incentive will help win them over, but I know better. Don't get me wrong, those instructions are in this book. I just know, for numerous soon-to-be shared reasons, that you don't have a shot at getting them to make the investment required to understand exactly how and why to get that money into their pockets. 1. A must-hear recorded lecture on the importance of philosophy, given at West Point in 1974 by Ayn Rand. It will influence the entire way that you view the world. Clearly, she never read War is a Racket, but don't let that take away from her otherwise logical presentation. 2. A must-watch video that presents a thought-provoking conversation between Chris Hedges and Alain de Botton. If you carefully consider the ideas they present, the resulting thoughts and feelings you will have are sure to positively influence the entire way that you experience the world. 3. A must-read article entitled, "Are You a Thug?" written by the longtime freedom activist and criminal law attorney Mark J. Victor. Why aren't these concepts the official party line? 4. A must-hear presentation given by former New York City Teacher of the Year John Taylor Gatto of historical facts regarding the planning and development of public schooling in the United States and the identities of the architects and financial sponsors behind such activities. Five, in light of what the previous link, number 4, offered, doesn't the Common Core curriculum smell like the next stage of that long-term plan? 6. A must-read article that explains what the proper role of government is. It will help you understand that being properly educated is a fundamental requirement of the safeguarding of one's rights. As you read it, remember that it was written in 1963. 7. A free PDF of the must-read book entitled The Underground History of American Education. It presents the true nature of public education in your country and the people behind its planning and implementation. At the very least, you should read all of Chapter 2. The link brings you there. 8. A free PDF of the must-read book entitled The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America. 9. A free PDF of the must-read book entitled The Closing of the American Mind. It explains that the higher education system in America has been helping to bring about widespread conceptual bankruptcy. 10. A must-read article that explains how your government is working to remove the constitutionally protected right of parents to choose the education that their own children will receive. Okay, we're making good progress now. Before you know it, we'll be into the sections of the book that explain exactly how we're going to thwart the science of fiction. Till then, I'm just trying to keep these short and sweet. I'm letting the book speak for itself. As soon as I start getting feedback in the comments section, I'll respond to that stuff. And then I'm hoping that we can start getting a dialogue going. I'm just trying not to be in the way of whatever the book is presenting at this point. Hope that makes sense. As always, if you want to move forward faster, download the free copy of the book at UnionOfTruth.org. I recommend that because it has the live links, of course. If you want to prefer having a hard copy book in your hand, that's great too. Purchase it. You can do that on Amazon or through the website, UnionOfTruth.org. Either way, the key is let's keep sticking with this. Let's keep our eyes on the prize. I think that's it for today. So, let's meet back here tomorrow. Till then, take good care of yourself and remember, objectivity, logic, fidelity, because absurdity knows no bounds.